Paul can say. What's the much I don't see? Some check is a siam. Paul can say, what's the members of the meeting? The members of the Onia. There we are. What's almost like a fatal one. A fatal yes, hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Once again, welcome to Fire Life Radio and good morning to you all. Bringing you the health matters. If you just tune in, we will encourage you to share the program with all your contacts. Today is Saturday, the 14th of September 2019 of the year of our Lord. If you are watching us on Facebook or YouTube, please do share the program with everyone on your contact. If you are watching us on Facebook, we will also encourage you to place the program or cut and paste the link to your Facebook page.
So the away ain't a penny. Hallelujah. But just have me not coming. so who said, oh, yeah, for 10 oh, yeah, we shall.
Yes, we got Radio for Mercy in the house. Today we are bringing you flatulence and depression. All right, good morning to you. We are about to start the program. If you have any questions, by all means, feel free. When the lines are activated, call in and ask any question that you may have. We thank Lord again for bringing us today to this program. Today, like I said, we're going to be talking about flatulence and depression. Depression is one of the, I think, one of the debatable topics in this country. I do remember one football manager telling a footballer, you are earning over £55,000 a week. How can you tell me that you are depressed? It is simply not possible. Today we are going to find out whether it is possible for someone to be depressed, especially if you are earning a lot of money, you know, and you can buy whatever you want. So if you are rich and you are depressed, what about a poor man? That's the question that we're going to be looking at today. If you just join us, like I said, do the best that you can. Share the program with all your loved ones and those on your contact list. If you have a church and you have a group, associations, and you have a WhatsApp group, do the best that you can. All that you have to do is to cut the link and paste it on your WhatsApp group. The picture will come on there. People will then be able to have access to the program. We got Mr. Mercy in the house. Let's welcome him and let's start the program. The time is 9:15, and at some point we will activate the telephone lines. If you have any question, just simply write it down. As soon as the lines are activated, you will then be able to call in and ask any question that you may have. Mr. Famesi, once again, welcome to the studio. Today you've decided to talk about depression as well as flatulence. This is a topic that I think we've covered in the past. Today we are going to go through again. Hopefully, if you're a new listener to this radio station, by all means you would then be able to also listen and come up with your contributions. Mr. Famesi, once again, welcome to Fire Life Radio. The topic is flatulence and depression. The question is why?
Good morning, our dear listeners. DJ D, good morning to you all. And I want to take opportunity to thank our dear listeners who listen to my voice every Saturday on Fire Life Radio. Thank you very much. DJ D, I think the screen here is off. If it can come on. So, anybody listening to my voice, I want to say a big thank you to you all. God richly bless you all. Today, I know I've spoken about flatulence before and depression, but me, every time I speak, it's something different come up. So today, I'm going to talk about flatulence first, and then talk about depression. I have decided to take about these two programs, and this program has been specifically dedicated to my former tutor Neil Brintley, who taught me microbiology in college. DJ D, funny enough, I will tell you a little story about what has happened. Possibly, if you can be very attentive, people who are listening to my voice, only about 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, I came on this program with my daughter Chanel Darko, and I said there was a man in my primary school who told me I can never do pharmacy because it's difficult. How I wish I would dispense this man's medication one day. Fair enough, God being so good. On Thursday, run about 3:30 p.m. Somebody came to consultation. I gave the little advice that I can to the person. The person was just looking at my name because my certificate is displayed conspicuously. And you ask me, excuse me, by any chance, did you go to Lambeth College? And I said, yes, I did. And I'm watching the man's face. All I could do is to shout his name, Neil Brindley. The man, everybody was laughing. You see, in life, when you are a good person, whatever the mouth open to say, it shall come to pass. It's only about 4 weeks or 5 weeks ago I called Neil Brindley's name. I don't know where this man was, and this man actually lived in Essex, East London, that far. For him to come all the way to South Croydon or south of London to come and have a one-to-one with me, it's unbelievable. It means God is saying something. When I called my daughter and I told my daughter about Neil Brindley, she said God is speaking. God is saying something to her as well, because she's had a fantastic day in the School of Law. It's been fantastic day for her. So it means she has to go on and do whatever she needs to do, because this testimony has really inspired her, and she will fulfill her dream. All that I'm saying to the youth here, please, when you have a dream, don't let or allow anyone to spoil your dream. You can go on and achieve everything that is in your mind you want to achieve. It's not about anybody telling you your future. It's about you knowing what you want to do for yourself. There are certain things in life. I said last week, or my son Elliot said, the people that you surround yourself with, you will then be who they are. If you surround yourself with positive people, trust me, you will reach very far and be positive in life. If you then surround yourself with negative people, they eventually draw you back, but without realizing. Although you may be fine, but they are negatively drawing you back spiritually. Whatever has happened this week, honestly speaking, has put me into a different direction. My mindset, my everything has changed. For me to be able to see my tutor, who I haven't seen for 23 years, Neil Brindley, it was really a shocking and really a surprising. He took my number. Unfortunately, I was so busy I didn't even take his number. I know I gave him the radio. Neil Brindley, you've tuned in. You're possibly listening to my voice. You were asking me what was I saying about you on the radio. I didn't tell you, but what I said is what I'm repeating right now on the radio, if you are listening to my voice. I salute you. You inspired me. All the teachers in Lambeth, they all inspired me. Some saw what was inside me, but believe me, it may be what you said. I took it as a challenge, and now wherever I go, I'm one of the hottest radio pharmacists or hottest pharmacists in England, and I really want to say thank you. So DJ D, I honestly dedicated this program to Neil Brindley, and I believe Neil is watching me right now, and I'm happy I'm there, and whatever I've done or whatever has happened has also influenced my daughter to be able to do whatever she want to do. But let me take this opportunity, please. Next week I will not be here. I will not be on live TV or live radio. I'm taking my daughter to Birmingham, and unfortunately I will not be here because she has to be in university to finish off whatever her law degree or whatever she want to do, her LPC or whatever. So DJ D, today we're going to speak about flatulence. Last week I was going to talk about flatulence but because of time I couldn't. So I'll talk briefly about flatulence, and then quickly we will do depression. when the time permits, we'll speak about depression as well. So that's the reason why this topic has been chosen today. And somewhere along the line, the advice for Neil Brindley was along this line, and I'm just happy I will speak about it today. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Today we are talking about flatulence and also depression. What is flatulence, Mr. Pharmacy?
I mean, when we say flatulence, I mean, sometimes people feel embarrassed about flatulence, but believe me, it's a natural thing. Everybody does it. Flatulence, in simple terms, is passing gas from your digestive system out of your back passage. Flatulence is passing gas from your digestive system out of the back passage, and it is more commonly called as passing a wind, or somebody is farting or farting. Like I said, farting is often laughed about, but excessive flatulence can be very, very embarrassing, and it can really make someone very uncomfortable around other people. All I will say is you can visit your pharmacy, because a pharmacist can help you with excessive or smelly farts. So please speak to your pharmacy about any excessive smell or excessive farts. They might be able to tell you if you can buy something to help you or to release your symptoms. For example, maybe a pharmacist can recommend maybe charcoal tablets, or maybe special underwear and pads that absorbs even smells. So if you should see your doctor, or if it's this the situation is worse, then the pharmacist can also advise you to see your doctor if you need to. So with regards to your question, DJT, about flatulence, the simple explanation is flatulence is passing gas from your digestive system out of your back passage. That is what we mean by flatulence.
Okay, thank you very much. Now at least we know what flatulence is. The name is a very posh name, but we all know exactly what it is. Technically, someone says I'm going flat, so the person is going flatulence. I don't know how you can put that in another way.
Oh, I see. Is that what people say?
People say they are going flat, and I never understood what they meant. But by looking at the name, I'm beginning to think that maybe that is where it comes from.
Okay.
So if you are around someone, a person I'm going flat, then that means you probably have to excuse yourself. At least we have at least we know something now. Like you said, it's natural. Everyone does it. The question is, how do someone know whether it's excessive or not? Whether maybe it's too much.
I mean, excess gas is often a symptom of maybe a chronic intestinal condition. Example can be maybe either the person is called diverticulitis or ulcerative colitis, or a condition called Crohn's disease, or maybe the person may have a small bowel bacteria overgrowth, and an increase or change in the bacteria in the small intestine can also cause excessive gas. Even when you've got diarrhea, it can also cause flatulence, and even weight loss as well. Or maybe the food that you eat, if maybe the food, you may possibly have food intolerance, that can also lead to flatulence. So with regards to the question of why or how some people have more gas in them or they have excessive gas, it's because of these reasons that I have mentioned, which include either you are having the diarrhea or weight loss, or maybe small bowel bacteria overgrowth, or maybe you may possibly have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, or diverticular or diverticulitis. When you have this condition, then it's more likely that you have excess gas. Doesn't make sense.
If you could repeat that again.
Okay, what I said was, when you have excess gas, it's a symptom of a chronic intestinal condition, a chronic of your intestines condition. Maybe either you may possibly be suffering from diverticulitis or ulcerative colitis, or there is a disease called Crohn's disease, or either your small bowel bacteria is overgrown. There is too much growth of a small bacteria in your bowel, or maybe there is an increase or change in the bacteria in the small intestine that can also cause gas. Or maybe if the person is possibly got diarrhea, if you've got diarrhea, of course that can also lead to excessive gas. Or maybe if you have a weight loss, or maybe you can even have something called food intolerance. All these factors can contribute to excessive gas. If you know, I don't know whether I've made myself clear.
Okay, thank you very much for the clarification. In terms of gas, there is this public perception. It may be true, it may not be true, that older people in particular have more gas, and therefore they come out of more gas than younger and maybe mid-aged people. How true is this?
I mean, there is a saying that I'll say Penyina Wayo. That's the saying that Ghanaians say. I said Penyina Wayo. There is something they say also Penyina Wayo. Mystery. It's so funny. I mean, to be honest, it's true. I mean, increased age has been linked to lactose intolerance. And I said excessive gas can be either you have a food intolerance or maybe lactose intolerance, and a relatively common reason why people break wind. But what tends to happen is elderly individuals are also at a higher risk for developing small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which can cause bloating and increase flatulence. So there is that link between older people and flatulence because of this simple reason. Either there is a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which can cause the bloating to increase flatulence, or maybe either there is the person suffer from lactose intolerance, which is part of the aging group. They tend to have lactose intolerance, and that can also lead to flattening.
Okay, thank you very much. So basically, this is just a general assumption and also a link that has been made. So it does not mean that when you are with older people and there is a smell, automatically you should look around and try to blame an older person. That, you know, the chances are that it's probably him or her. That is not what we are saying here. And that perception, that stigma, that stereotype is not always the case. So we need to bear this in mind, because culturally, sometimes within the community, so ubi adia kranenya akrandim say penyina we inframa. So I'm up for that perception.
Yes.
And we are here to break down perceptions and also stigma and stereotypes. That is why we are here today. People have also talked about cancer and smell. I don't know how people smell when they have cancer, but this is a very serious thing. There is just some people believe that when your towel smell of gas, it may be a sign of cancer. This assumption or this stereotype, do you have any comment on this?
I mean, though not as common, a person may experience excessive smelly gas due to the presence of cancer of the colon. There is a cancer of the colon. When someone is got that excessive smelly gas, then there is the possibility that the person has got a cancer in the colon, because cancerous polyps or maybe tumors, what they do is they can form a blockage, and that blockage can cause gas to build up in the intestine. They can cause gas to build up in the intestine. And one early warning sign is when changes in the diet or medication do not stop foul smelling gas from occurring at all. So there is that link also, that normally people who have got colon cancer, they tend to have, or it's a possibility of them having a smelling foul gas. So you need to do a checkup. If your normal way of producing gas has changed, then of course there will be a need for you to have a look into details as to whether you may be having a stomach cancer or a colon cancer.
This is interesting. So I think perhaps people should be aware of these things. We are not saying this to put fear in anyone, but at least these are some of the signs, the stigma, the stereotypes that are out there. So therefore, if you're experiencing anything like this, then of course you're gonna have to start taking the necessary steps. And if there is a problem, hopefully you can get early resolution to that problem. Also, there is a belief that some people, but I think it will also depend, perhaps cultural, where the person is coming from, because I've heard someone saying that when someone is fat, they pass a lot of wind. And some people also have also said that certain people, depending on where you come from, there is this stigma, stereotype, and sometimes sheer, I don't know whether it's stupidity or just ignorance. Some people have perception that there are certain people that they are also sort of all the time they are passing wind. Is this true? And if so, why do some people pass wind all the time?
I mean, with the stereotype of people where they come from, like especially I'm a Ghanaian, I come from Ghana, and there is that perception of a tribe in Ghana that they relate fat with that tribe. Like, excuse my language to say, ye krumfante, ye de tsane di agro. You get what I'm saying? There is that saying that people say, and to me, it's what people say. I don't think it's got anything to do with the tribe. Do you understand me?
Then why do they say it?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know. Because I don't know. Because one thing is, DJD, fatting is a normal part.
It's a natural phenomenon.
Yes, it's a normal part of our digestion that affects the activity of the bacteria in our gut. So you might also notice that you fat more when you eat certain food that are more difficult to digest. For example, maybe beans or raw vegetables. So you may have excess flatulence if you fart more than 20 times per day. So in other words, if you can fart more than 20 times a day, then there is a question mark as to maybe you are farting too much. Having said that, the perception of people thinking, oh, infantifodia, oh, how dear, I don't believe it. I think farting is a natural phenomenon. It doesn't matter where you come from. It's just individual person, and we've got to bear in mind whether nobody can tell me that they don't fart. Everybody farts.
Everybody does. Okay. So how do you get rid of a constant gas coming out? Because some people, for whatever reason, either the food that they eat or they have a problem with their digestive system.
Yeah.
They seem to constantly non-stop. How do any treatment for these people?
I mean, the advice we give to people is they need to eat and drink very, very slowly eating and drinking. Taking your time can help you swallow less air. It can help you to swallow less air. We also advise people to avoid carbonated drinks and beer. Avoid carbonated drinks and beer. We also tell people that they should release carbon dioxide gas. They should also skip the gum and hard candy. And if possible, if they are smokers, they should try and avoid smoking. And if possible, if they've got dentures, then the dentures need to be checked. They need to keep moving. And even if they do have heartburns, then they should know how to treat the heartburns ASAP, because all this can contribute to excessive gas. So these are advice that DJD we give to people who have got this problem.
Thank you very much. Gas, as one could imagine, some people can pass gas without even you realizing. But others, when they pass gas, it will be unbearable.
Yeah.
Can you explain
that is true.
Why some people, their gas is so bad, or the smell of it is so bad?
It is true. It is very, very true. You are absolutely right. In some people, the number of gas or the times that they seriously give away gas, it can be really, really bad and unbearable for people to be able to understand how they their gas smell so bad. I mean, if you usually there are a number of reasons why some people fat smells so bad, and in most cases foul smelling fat or flatulence is usually associated with the food that they eat and maybe an unbalanced diet. However, there can be more serious causes of rotten smelling gas. So an investigation need to be conducted. It's one, either what they eat, or it could be underlying condition, and therefore a medical checkup is needed to be able to eradicate what the problem might be. Sometimes people pass gas all right, but once they start or they might be suffering from colon cancer, then the smell of the gas can be so bad or intense. So it depending on each individual. If the way you pass gas has changed, or the number of times have changed, or the the way the gas also smells has changed significantly, then it would possibly depend on what you've eaten or underlying condition. That is the reason why GJD.
Thank you very much. There's also a belief that some people, no matter what they eat, because as we were talking, we did link it to sometimes food that we eat.
Yes.
But some people, no matter what they eat, as soon as, it's like non-stop. Is there any reason for this?
I mean, eating is a common cause of bloating, because when the body digests food, it produces gas anyway. So people also swallow air when they are eating or when they are drinking, which then enters the gastrointestinal tract. So flatulence and burping usually help to relieve buildup of gas and air in our stomach. It helps to release buildup of gas and air in our stomach. So that should be the reason why some people maybe whatever they eat, they give them gas. Sometimes it depends on what they eat or the way they eat and how they swallow so much gas into their gastrointestinal system. That is the reason why. But one of the questions also people usually ask me is, why do some people fart so much at night? Some people, they fart so much at night. What tends to happen is most people do not sleep fat frequently. Instead, it happens when excess gas builds up in their body. It happens when excess gas builds up in their body, and this can be a result of these digestive disorders: food intolerance, stress, changes in eating habits, or maybe hormonal shifts. And another question that I have experienced from patients over and over is it normal to have more gas as you get older? And I think I have already answered the question as to the reason why people get more gas as they get older, because the longer food sit in their digestive system, the more gas producing bacteria build up, causing abnormal discomfort. And you also produce more gas as you age due to slowing down of the metabolism and slowing down of the movement of food through the colon. Of course, yes, even the intestinal tract naturally slows down over time. So when you are getting older, then you, of course, as I said earlier on, you are more likely to fat. And another thing that people also ask me a lot is, why do some people or some women becomes or feel so gassy all of a sudden when they are pregnant? When women are pregnant, one of the key contributing factors to experiencing more gas during pregnancy is the increased level of progesterone. The increased level of progesterone, which is a hormone. What happens is, the progesterone is a hormone that causes the muscles throughout your body to relax. It is a hormone that causes your muscle throughout the body to relax. Subsequently, your intestinal muscle relax more, which cause your digestion to slow down. So that could also be a factor and the reason why women who are pregnant tend to fat more often. funny enough, somebody also asked me this question: how often do girls fart? Look, we're not just talking about the older people. Girls, of course, do also fart. Whether you try to hide it or not, you fart. Everybody does. But even though it is such a routine activity, the average person farts between 10 and 20 times per day. There is a lot about farting that you might not even know. So anybody who is listening to my voice today, please bear this one in mind. Never ever underestimate or never think when someone is farting it is bad. It is normal. Whether we like it or not, we all fart. But some of the questions people also want to know: if someone is farting too much, is it healthy? Is it healthy to fart a lot? Regularly, I can tell you farting is normal. Even healthy. Farting, it is normal and even healthy. Farting a lot isn't necessarily bad, but it could be a sign of digestive issue or improper diet. And one of the easiest adjustment for gas issue is making sure you are getting a good balance of protein and plants, like maybe either fruits, vegetables and grains in your daily diet. I repeat, regularly farting is normal, even healthy. Farting a lot isn't necessarily bad, but it could be a sign of digestive issue or improper diet. And one of the easiest adjustment for gas issue is possibly making sure you are getting a good balanced diet of protein and plants, like either fruits, vegetable or grains in your daily diet. So please, who are listening to my voice, bear this discussion in your mind. I know it's not any medical issue, but it is a normal thing that happens to everyone, whether we like it or not, whether you are ill or you are not. It is something normal. It happens every single day. And also, we've spoken about why some people are too gassy at night, and somebody may also want to know why some people also are too gassy in the morning. One thing is, chewing gum or sucking on candies all day can cause the same effects as can breathing out of your mouth whilst you sleep, called mouth breathing. So if you have gas in the morning, or maybe you wake up feeling completely full, it might be because of the way you are breathing as you sleep. So when you sleep, and for instance, even when someone has got a nose block and they breathe through their mouth, then of course it is likely they are accumulating gases in their belly. So the next morning, all you see or you find is the gas have to find some way to come out of their digestive system. And coming out of their digestive system means the back passage. And you see air in their back passage coming in a form of flatulence or wind, all because of the way they've slept. That can also be a way. So sometimes people may have a nasal blockage or a nose block, and they sleep and they breathe through their mouth. And when they breathe through their mouth, that can also be a sign or a cause of excessive gas coming out of their back passage. And also, there are certain foods that we have to bear in mind, and those foods can cause excessive flatulence, or it can cause flatulence, and we need to bear this food in mind. So if you already fat too much and you eat this food, then of course you are more likely to even fat more. An example of the food that commonly cause flatulence could possibly include dairy products, such as maybe milk. If lactose intolerance is present, dairy products such as milk, if lactose intolerance is present. Also, there are dried fruits like raisins and prunes. They can also cause flatulence. Also, fruits like apples, apricots, peach and pear. These are all some of the food that can also cause excessive or can cause flatulence. And also food that are high in insoluble fiber, particularly seeds and husks, that can also cause flatulence. Or legumes, beans, peas, legumes like beans, peas, chicken peas, soya beans, and nuts. All of these are a contributing factors of things that can cause flatulence. So anybody listening to my voice, whether we like it, whether you are a man, a woman, a young lady, a young man, a teenager, a schoolboy, a secondary school boy, university school boy or girl, whether you like it or not, we all fat. Fattening is a natural thing unless there is underlying condition. If there is underlying condition, then it can be looked into. When we open down the phone line, people can call in and share their experience. This is not embarrassing to talk about. It's something that need to be spoken about. Whether we like it or not, it is something that is necessary. It is something that we need to talk about. Like I said, the youth, I'm more concerned about the youth of today. Honestly speaking, mothers, fathers who are listening to our voice, my main intention or aim is the youth. What can we do to help our youth of today? We need to go with the flow of the world. As we are discussing about fattening, as we are discussing about flatulence, please, it's something we can all talk about. It is important. Let's discuss this. Sometime I know of a patient who started experiencing this condition. He used to come and complain to me, not knowing he was having a colon cancer. But with my little knowledge, I was able to advise this person, and he was able immediately to take medical help or medical assistance. There was a medical intervention ASAP, And because of the medical intervention, I can honestly tell you now everything is okay with this person. Honestly speaking, it's very important. Anybody who is listening to my voice today, please bear that in mind. Let's forget about Ferrier and let's be honest and be truthful and talk about these things politely to our partners, and let's see this as normal. Let us not try and hide certain things, and let that also cause problem within our system. You've got to come out. It is normal, as I said. It needs to be done. Excuse yourself and do it privately. It is normal. Like I said, between the 10-20 a day, it is normal. Once it goes above 20, then there is a major need for a concern. So thank you very much for listening to my voice today. The next topic we want to talk about is depression. Depression is the next topic that I want to discuss about. Whilst we open up the phone line, what I want people to also understand, they can ask any question either about flatulence or depression or any topic or any diseases you want to discuss. If I know, I will tell you. If I don't know, I'll do a research and come and give you an answer. If not, somebody knows, the person can also call. Because like I said, I don't know everything. I'm here to also learn from you. It's all about teachability. This radio station was formed to educate the community, to educate the people, to educate the masses. So please, all I will say to you is be bold, call in and share your experience. Be bold, call in and ask any question that you need to ask. Now, we have spoken about flatulence. We are now going to depression. Let's now talk about depression. When we say depression, what is depression? What is depression? I know it's a term that people often use, but do they really understand those terms or what they mean by those terms at all? That is $100 million question. People need to understand what they mean by depression, because many a times people just use the word, not necessarily whether they understand it or not, and they go about and say, oh, I'm depressed. But today or in the past, we are going to talk what we mean by depression, what we really mean by depression. In a simple term, when we say depression is a very common and serious medical illness that can negatively affect how a person feels, the way they think, and the way they act. Depression is a common and serious medical illness that negatively can affect how a person feels, the way the person thinks, and how the person also acts. One thing is, depression causes feelings of sadness and or a loss of interest in activities once you enjoy. So feeling sad or having a depressed mood is one of the things that people usually experience when they are depressed. And that is what I mean by the term depression. Now, when we say someone is depressed, how do you know? What are the symptoms that they will show for you to understand or for you to come to a conclusion that somebody is depressed? The symptoms of depression can be very, very complex, and they vary widely between different type of people. But as a general rule, if you are depressed, one thing is you feel very, very sad. You also feel hopeless, and you lose interest in things you used to enjoy. The symptoms persist for weeks or even months and are bad enough to interfere with your work, social life, and even family life. But there are many, many other symptoms of depression, but you are unlikely to have all of those that I will talk about today. There are many, many symptoms of depression, but you are more, or you are unlikely to have all those that I will speak about today. Now, when someone is depressed, or when someone is got depression, they tend to have some psychological symptoms. And the psychological symptoms of depression can either be the person continues low mood or sadness. They tend to feel hopeless and helpless. They tend to have low self-esteem. They tend to feel tearful, and they feel guilt-ridden. There is a feeling irritable and intolerant of others, and they are having no motivation or interest in the things that they do. They tend to find it difficult to make certain decisions or make even decisions in general. Not getting any employment out of life. They are feeling anxious or worried. And what tends to happen is they tend to have suicidal thoughts or thoughts of harming themselves. So these are the psychological symptoms that people go through when they are depressed. So anybody who is listening to my voice and the person is having these symptoms, please seek medical help. Seek medical help. And also, the physical symptoms of depression can either include moving or speaking more slowly than usual. When you are speaking all right, but the way you speak is very, very slow. You're speaking more slowly than the way you normally speak. There is also a changes in appetite or weight. Usually decrease, but sometimes they increase. Also, some people can be constipated. They may have constipation or unexplained aches and pains. Or even some people may lack energy. There is a lack of energy, or maybe low sex drive, which is loss of libido, or changes to your menstrual cycle, or maybe disturbed sleep. For example, maybe finding it difficult to fall asleep at night or waking up very early in the morning. And that is what we mean by the physical symptoms. Of course, there are also other social symptoms that people go through. And the social symptoms of the depression can either be not doing well at school or work, avoiding contact with friends, and taking part in fewer social activities, or neglecting your hobbies and interests, or having difficulties in your home and family life. One thing is, depression can often come on gradually, so it can be difficult to notice something is wrong. And many people try to cope with their symptoms without even realizing that they are unwell. Many people, they tend to cope with their symptoms, not realizing that they are even unwell. And it can sometimes take a friend or a family member to suggest something is wrong. It can take a friend or family member to suggest that something is wrong. What tends to happen is, doctors describe depression by how serious it is. Doctors describe depression by how serious it is. When somebody is got mild depression, it means the person has some impact on their daily life. And also moderate depression, it means the person has a significant impact on their daily life. Or sometimes some people can have a severe depression. Some people can have a severe depression that makes it almost impossible to get through daily life. And a few people with severe depression may have a psychotic symptoms too. A few people with severe depression may have a psychotic symptoms. And when we say psychosis, it just reminds me of DJ D story that was shared on the radio when we were talking about depression. That he went to a bank, and when he got there, there was somebody, a customer waiting. And what the customer asked the banker, I can't remember the story, but it was so funny. I could not remember. I can't remember everything, but when we open or at appropriate time, DJ D will possibly remind us the story. So it can be very, very difficult to distinguish between grief and also depression. When someone is grieving, is different from being depressed, although they share many of the same characteristics, but there are important differences between them. Grief is an entirely natural response to a loss, whilst depression is an illness. So people who are grieving find their feeling of sadness and loss, they come and go, but they are still able to enjoy things and look forward to the future. In contrast, people who are depressed constantly feel sad. They do not enjoy anything and find it difficult to be positive about their future. So that is what really tend to happen with regards to the depression and the things that I have literally mentioned just now. DJ D, what was the I can't remember that, but you said something about a guy that went to the bank and make a joke. He was serious, but he make everybody laugh. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, I do remember that story. You know, sometimes it's very, very difficult to understand what another person goes through in times of crisis. And also, it's very, very difficult for some people to understand how some people can claim that they are going through challenges and difficulties if from outside they have, into brackets, a perfect life. And this is a case where someone obviously had, you could tell that the person had mental health issues because he was talking to himself in a bank. There was a long queue, and this person is just talking, and everyone is just trying to avoid standing closer to him because of stigma and stereotypes that society has put on these people. So this person is just talking. I can't remember exact words that he was using. So he was just talking to himself like, oh, it's hell up here. You must be enjoying down there. You must be enjoying down there. Something to that effect. And then when he got to the cashier, you know, all of a sudden he's trying to be too over friendly with the cashier. So the cashier was being a bit defensive. And you know, he made a joke that, you know, you are so short and you are so down there, you must be, you know, living in heaven, because up here is just proper hell, you know. And everyone started laughing because the guy was a giant. He's so big and tall, and therefore, you know, for him, you know, perhaps being tall also means that you are going to suffer. But how many people, you know, will wish that they are 6 foot? Everyone that you ask, oh, I'm 6 foot, I'm this, I'm that, and sometimes they are not even 6 foot. You know, so sometimes, you know, that is the way it is. It's very difficult for people to be able to understand why some people may say they are depressed. Typical example is one of, Aston Villa. There was a coach or football manager, I cannot remember the name. It keeps coming to my head and popping out. And he told Stan Collymore that you are earning over £50,000 a week, and you are telling me that you are depressed. Someone who is homeless, someone who is got nothing. If that person says I'm depressed, I can understand. But you are making all this money and you have the cheek to be telling me that you are depressed. So this shows how there is a lot of misconception and misunderstanding about medical conditions. And as a result, it became a big media palaver where, you know, all sorts of organizations were criticizing this manager for his ignorance. So depression, for me, is something that is mental. It's not what you have. It's not who you are. And it's not what you say. Because many a times, people are depressed, but they will deny it, that they are not depressed, because of social stigma that is placed on them. And sometimes people may not even know that they are depressed, you know. And, you know, it's one of those things. It's just like autism. Within our society, we simply refuse to accept. This is a major challenge. And I think accepting reality sometimes could help a long way to help us. Because if you don't accept that you have a problem, how do you look for solution? It is not possible. And when it comes to depression, I believe there may be different types of depression, and therefore it will make it very difficult for people to understand the condition. Because whilst some people may behave in a certain way, if they have certain type of depression, another person may behave in a certain way. So you cannot put them in one basket and say that A plus B equals to depression. It doesn't work that way.
Absolutely.
So as we know that there are different types of depression, Mr. Pharmacy, are you able to tell us what they are?
I mean, there are different types of depression, you are right. And some condition where depression may be one of the symptoms can even include postnatal depression. Postnatal depression. Some women develop depression after they have had a baby. And that is what we mean by postnatal depression. And it is treated in a similar way to other types of depression with talking therapies and antidepressants medicine. There is also bipolar disorder. That is what we call manic depression. And in bipolar disorder, there are spells of both depression and excessively high mood, which is mania. So the depression symptoms are similar to clinical depression, but the boosts of mania can include harmful behavior. For instance, gambling, going on spending spree, and having unsafe sex. And there is also another one called SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder, also known as winter depression. Winter depression. The seasonal affective disorder is a type of depression with a seasonal pattern. Usually that is also related to the winter. So during the winter season, people become depressed. That is also another type of depression. But one of the things that is very, very sad and common is the postnatal depression, DJD. The postnatal depression is so common after women have given birth. And people who are married and their wife suffer from postnatal depression, they have to exercise and help them.
Postnatal depression after giving birth. So if you're a man and you are watching us, you are listening to us, this is something that I think you have to hide in your pocket. So once you see these things, then at least you know why it is. Because sometimes people overreact and it leads to arguments, relationship breakdowns, divorce, and so on and so forth. But if you have a bit of a knowledge about postnatal depression, I believe that it will help you to sometimes understand and ignore certain things.
Yes.
The next question is therefore, if you have these sort of symptoms, or is it necessary to see a doctor?
I mean, see your GP if you are experiencing symptoms of depression. For most of the day you are experiencing those symptoms, then it is important to see your GP. Or if you are experiencing these symptoms every day for more than 2 weeks, a low mood may also improve after a short time if you are in a low mood. So DJD is very, very important. If you're experiencing these symptoms of depression for most of the day, every day for more than 2 weeks, it is very vital. There are help out there. We can be of a help to you. But as I was saying, one of the most important things is the postnatal depression. People think they don't see anything that can be depressed. Like you were saying, a footballer like Stan Collymore, when he said he was depressed, people could not understand it. But depression does exist. It doesn't matter the bag or the bed that you sleep on, or the color of your car, or how many cars that you may have, or the money that you may have. When you are depressed and you are ill. It is as simple as ABCD. DJD.
How do you diagnose depression?
I mean, to get a diagnosis of depression, or if someone is depressed, if you experience the symptoms of depression for most of the day, every day, for more than 1 week or 2 weeks, then you should seek help from your GP. And it is particularly important to speak to your GP if you have symptoms of depression that are not improving at all. Find your moods affect your work, other interests and relationship with your family and friends. Or if you have thoughts of suicide or self-harm, sometimes when you are depressed, it can be very difficult to imagine the treatment that can actually help. But the sooner you seek treatment, the sooner your depression will improve. There are no physical tests for depression so far as the diagnosis is concerned, but your GP may examine you, and what they will do is they will carry out some urine or blood tests to rule out other conditions that have similar symptoms, such as maybe underactive thyroid. And the main way your GP will tell if you have depression is by asking you lots of questions about your general health and how the way you are feeling is affecting you mentally and physically. But I advise people to try to be as honest and open as you can be with your answers. Describing your symptoms and how they are affecting you will help your GP to determine whether you have depression and how severe it is. Any discussion you have with your GP will be confidential. Those confidential rules will only ever be broken if there is a significant risk of harm to either yourself or others, and if informing a family member or carer would reduce that risk. So DJD, with regards to your question, the simple explanation is you will be asking, or the GP will be asking questions in order to be able to diagnose if you are depressed or clinically depressed. That's what happened.
Thank you very much. As perhaps is based on what you tell the GP, it's vital, it's very important that you are also honest with the GP. Because if you don't tell the GP the truth, of course he's going to give you a different diagnosis, and therefore it will not help you. So in this case, I think the key here is honesty. Many a times people will go and see professional, they go and tell pure lies, and then when they are giving advice and it doesn't work, they will then go and say that the person is not good. But what they will forget to say is that they went there with lies, and therefore they could not get the right advice. So it's important that before we go and see professionals, we also need to be honest and give us, as accurate an answer as we can, because at the end of the day, it's going to help you, it's going to help the doctor to do his job properly. Do you have any treatments for depression?
I mean, there are treatments for depression, and treatment for depression usually involves a combination of self-help, talking therapy, and medicines. And the treatments that will be recommended will be based on the type of depression that one may have. For instance, mild depression, if you have a mild depression, then the following treatment may be recommended. If your GP diagnoses you with a mild depression, then of course they may suggest waiting a short time to see if it gets better by itself. In this case, you'll be seen again by your GP after 2 weeks to monitor your progress. This time is known as the watchful waiting. The watchful waiting. And there is evidence that exercise can also help depression, as is one of the main treatment of mild depression. You may be referred to a group exercise class. So please bear that in mind. If your depression is mild, then exercise is one of the things that will help him. So this is what I mean by what I'm going to talk about, the following things I'm going to talk about. Talking through your feelings can be helpful. You could talk to a friend or relative, or you could ask your GP or local psychological therapist. Local psychological therapist services, if there are any self-help group for people with depression in your area. And if you have mild to moderate depression that is not improving, or moderate depression, then of course you may find a talking therapy very helpful. There are also different types of talking therapies for a depression, including cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, and counseling. Your GP can refer you for talking treatment, or you can even refer yourself directly to a psychological therapy service. So that is also another treatment that can be given. But when we talk about people with moderate to severe depression, if you have moderate to severe depression, then of course treatment may be recommended. Treatments like antidepressants, because what happens is the antidepressants are tablets that treat the symptoms of depression, but there are almost about 30 different types of antidepressants, and they have to be prescribed by a doctor, usually for depression that's moderate to severe. Your GP may recommend that you take a course of antidepressants plus talking therapy, particularly if your depression is quite severe. Also, a combination of an antidepressant and CBT usually works better than having just one of those treatments, as I mentioned. And if you have a severe depression, then of course you may be referred to a mental health team made up of psychologists, psychiatrists, specialist nurses, and occupational therapists. These teams often provide intensive specialist talking treatment as well as prescribed medication. There is also a treatment called CBT, which is cognitive behavior therapy. What they do is they aim to help you to understand your thoughts and behavior and how they affect you. The CBT recognizes that event in your past may have shaped you, but it usually concentrates mostly on how you can change the way you think and behave in the presence. It also teaches you how to overcome negative thoughts. For example, being able to challenge hopeless feelings. So that is what we mean by the CBT. There is also something called IPT, which is interpersonal therapy. What they do is they focuses on your relationship with others and problems you may be having in your relationship, such as maybe difficulties with communication or coping with bereavement. And funny enough, there are some evidence that IPT can be effective as antidepressants or CBT, but more research is needed on this area. And also another treatment option is the psychodynamic psychotherapy. Psychodynamic psychotherapy. In psychodynamic psychoanalytic or psychotherapy, what tend to happen is a psychoanalytic therapist will encourage you to say whatever is going through your mind. This will help you become aware of hidden meanings or patterns in what you do or say that may be contributing to your problem. So these are all some of the treatments into details that can also help someone. And of course, there are antidepressants that can be given. Antidepressants are medicine that treat the symptoms of the depression. Like I said, there are almost about 30 different types of that are available. And most people with moderate or severe depression benefit from antidepressants. But not everybody does though. You may respond to one antidepressant but not to another, and you may need to try 2 or more treatments before you find one that works for you. The different types of antidepressants work about as well as each other, but side effects vary between different treatments and different people. When you start taking the antidepressant, you should see your GP or specialist nurse weeks or 2 for at least 4 weeks to assess how well they are working. If they are working, you will need to continue taking them at the same dose for at least 4 to 6 months after your symptoms have eased. If you have had episodes of depression in the past, of course you may need to continue to take antidepressants for up to 5 years or more. Normally antidepressants are not addictive, but you may get some withdrawal symptoms if you stop taking them suddenly or if you miss a dose. So that is what I can say, DJ D, with regards to the treatment. Normally antidepressants is what we give you, but there are also other treatments like talking therapy or the CBT, as I said. All are some of the things we can all do to help someone with depression. I believe the message today will or has been a help to our dear listeners. And if anybody has got any question at all, they can ask. Or DJ D, if you have any more questions to ask me, you can carry on and let's see what we can all do to help ourselves. Thank you for listening to my voice.
Right, it's now exactly past. Today we will do the best that we can to activate the telephone line as fast as possible, because I believe that everyone has got something to say. Yes, the telephone number is 0203 002 8482. If you want to call us, that is the number to call. Today we've talked about flatulence. Someone will say passing wind or passing gas. We've also talked about depression. A lot of people cannot get their head around it. How you are living in the UK, you are able to buy any food that you want, any car that you want, anything that you want, and you tell me that you are depressed. Someone will say someone is living in the somewhere in Brazil, living in poverty, and the person will not be crying of depression. How can that happen? Mr. Pharmacy has offered us an explanation as to how depression can occur, the symptoms, and the help that are available out there. Today, if you want to call the program, the number once again is on your screen: 0203 002 8482. That's the United Kingdom number. America is +131 223 89510. This is United States of America and Canada. If you want to call us through WhatsApp, the number is +44 203 002 8482. Do not be surprised because it may sound like a landline, but it is a WhatsApp telephone number. You can call us on that number. So we are waiting for your telephone calls. Exactly 11 o'clock, we are bringing the program to an end. You call us after 11, there will be no one here to answer your telephone call about health matters. So if you have any contribution or if there's any question that you wish to ask, this is the time. Do call in so that we can answer your telephone calls for you. We want to take this opportunity to thank Patience Osei for tuning in. Rosemary Edia, Boss Lady Bako Pet, thank you for sharing the program. Mr. Kwabena Inketia, thank you very much for joining us and for sharing the program. Stand back and take account, or therefore. Ralph, thank you for joining us.
That's right.
Someone will say Vida, Chumesi. Thank you very much for joining us too. Hello, Uncle Frank. How is your team doing? We are doing great. It has to be yes, and the program ya can ho asem say obi ejai emframa ana say obi so aye depressed. Na depressed no and ye kotwima me hu se di misi aka no. Enti so obi so tie no nim se di esi kana na onso betimi afre na onso di aba betidwa. Hello, good morning.
Morning, lawyer.
Now, me pacho hana eka say.
A boss lady neka say.
Ade bako peno fanso so. Boss lady na de bako pena so. Boss lady. That's right. You will chrome. Yanam na yetiti she ho. Boss lady na moten enkano. Drive time on a drive every Monday to Friday between the hours of 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. UK time. And he said, "Opese wote the air koso ewo wiase afane nyinara na chese Fire Life Radio ana wo de beto Monday to Friday. Boss lady oye bako pe obi ni nanim ana obi ni nachi. Boss lady wabelande yenko."
Mr. Fandakume, good morning. Good morning to you, boss lady. When the topic na me dance say me you know, I quite remember said that guy for a very nice posh sorry Oh, why don't you know or you from? Just to be a accident to be to be by the way. But one way, just let me dream some identity. And now you're even the one just let me I feel me more in a way. Just say you're nippers, peer crana say, and nipper more whatever. Not to you from a far. I say me because I didn't see my bass a yari and I said, and yari. Because me, Mama, I brought you come on.
Sir, and from a year, the and your bonio.
There you a when you from via but when you say a one way, a one but it's within come number 30 minutes. No, bet me more than the all.
Now, what me catch, you know.
Let me say.
You see, for me, I think sometimes that is the problem that we have in our community. You see, obi ohwa obeya diebi unrealize say ebia obi ache no ebia na dwirim obi so yes you but onim say
anya say quiet one ni bi o
ebia no dey want you boss lady
so ya we me say
Debbie
say on me say o yare bi
you be surprised
loud ni bi say
boss lady ebia o no nti o who say adebi wo ho a sometimes wo no who say adebi ben wa sometimes wo no enti na ewiase ni pattern bia ye hu de obi a obi a ya wrong but the ye wrong ni ye hu no enti ewiase na debu e ben wa you will never see it just a wonachi enti no bibi sa na me free say yetimi etu nipa ne for say masa ebia enkoye wo ha no ebia ye fa kwan we so na say ko hu doctor dey man advice because sebio ojeje mu nyina no on the ha no wo na how so ana de dey how na say wo anka ho a wo na wu amane
okay me say say wonu say na after because what does the sense yari na say e dey say this lawyer and yes kakre just say me so wonu so pa yes am gito e so nipa na de na ba just say na me ferment me anka but mo kan wa se me na me pese se bia me dwem da wo se na me gye se bia ye yare bi ne bi so ko doctor ne ma ne bibia na bibi so because na too much
any friend na ka kire no because se de esi ko no se e revolting sa na hwe ko nya yere kure be ja no
oh it is me de ko onya no pro be company
aha entina no ba be ye problem enti say utimi e de ne tena say in a nice way na say wo yi man na wo man directions ekwan ebi betimi aboa na ebia ye kan didi a wodidi o ebia aduane a wodi no eye gassy food enti eno ane say eba ono so nyawe ebia no so na ene de basele ni ba ne ho so a obetimi am make lifestyle changes kakra na aboa no because at this moment working and I say contribution I will make it when you say esi na edi tu ye ho say unu obi nam anaso unu obi wo ho na say bibi wo ho bibi on ho na say enkoyi a don't think say okay the person will be offended obey offended the crowd what they can at the end of the day no where na wase na believe in me that be obeda wase me school teacher bi o say mo sere me say one kai mensu na obe kai masre china ene me kai ne sere o wu match ye mu so it's very important say within our community I know say culture na na difficult because your community obi adia da
kai to nya we
ebi onya we o hwe obu ana so sisi enso na mo awu hu no
why so to be control
ana ebi so ono na dwiri mu no ofi say a silent one nibia but onim say o tsunami na eba no so enti me fi say a very important say obema nipa na ya we say masa de ekoso ni so nya we because adibu a usobu na mana ne ho bon enso onim say ne ho bon because we hia say ye normal amount no so enti so bi twina dwene ba so a you be surprised obu a ne ho bon pa so bu se no ka say ne ho mo hwe sisi amekan me nam na latani bi ya adwuma say all the nefu ni sabio enya didi atemo I'm not being stigma here say all the aduane e ko hye microwave mu na ohitia me ubedwane because to me they say hey edi be nie ono so de ne hwampa so eti wiase no obi ani se de na dwene ene se de ne smell ne sense of smell esitie so eti sometimes no ebe ho hu no gise wo bi ho eti so wotwe na dwene baso a ebi ebeboa no because yemfa ne sese ye hu yanka no akoye oba bi lies ada no de oputi on behavior no oba na akọ o de akora ba wiase o afa oba ne say hey u jan from adodo enti megyan o na sisi akofa akora ba wiase akora ni papa anase papa ni life na akora ni grow up this there's no father figure mother becomes frustrated afa na akora na ba be vagabond no akofa knife na boom o de akowo obi na akofa nsempia ba we example na medema I'm not being stigmatized here but se me feel say ye hu se bibi sa no ewo ye nua bi ho a yen kan kire no o ka e bia enye ne de but obi oso aka asem kire na obefa ne in good faith na war act upon it na etimi stop sa na ema no se wan fa ne good faith impo na so odo ho adwene bone ehye ni tirima wo dey leave him jano at the end of the day no believe in me that chimbi obeka say me nua bai kan na kamiti ya ebian ke komenim because ewiase no you don't have to live in this world to please man. Do things to please yourself and your God. Period. Enti no o de oye wa famu de unyame afamu de na se ni pa be fa ho tan a mane fa ho tan because at the end of the day no believe me sa o tan no e ba be ye odo because obi hu say wom ana wa ye bold aka ne kra na kire no enti eni abe ye tie ni ade ye try ne ye kan kire ne yo mpe
I also think necessary the way you say it. It's not just say also catch no bold now catch no. But it's the way you also communicate to the person. No? Say they are also taken offended. Because obi o hokrampo na okay we are on mount chamber, but they will continue to do what they are doing. Obi also so na obi taken in a very, very positive way. Say and the woman may near by my house. But your Jamaica ultima say, boss lady,
what's your pa?
Entino is about what you say, not
it's about how you say it.
Yeah. Not what you even say, but how you say things. But your what did they make I say? Enti a very sensitive area to talk about. I say body odor. Anyway, we cry a chain, we cry a more sensitive than we. So ukujina baby no aka say but I'm for na otitasa na say I don't know him from asa a very, very sensitive thing to talk about. But I believe say if you find a proper way to say it I don't think that a person will be offended at all. And till boss lady say nipa no so no ni dia no nye a cool one bio we the edede o say edede
ebia wo sumo na edede hwe na say wo ye party na wo bonwom na wo sa o neighbor so ye edede so enti adede de no matter what people are different. All that you can do is to be as polite as you can. Anyone be taking about owu akra wo ye polite kra no ba ko nya bi so didi natem enti adede de it doesn't matter. There is always a problem. But yes, 7 edika when yakoka boss lady back home and you'll be a boss lady back. Hey, yanko yanim yanko hackney. Hello, 8546.
Hello, good morning. I want to say more better when I pay the not you say that I may have fixed. Mammy may what man I can say because I'm free Dawson.
Yeah, that was
Mammy what ma Fire Life Radio for some that was a pa.
Mention me damas the pa. Timunya have done more than me and sister me damas Fire Life Radio for.
Last week there, I'm going for home.
Yes, who can't tell my evening now?
So,
two by radio, no soon tell my evening now.
Sanity.
Until last week, almost pay my memory about me and I almost finally.
Now, I paid the when does someone more kind flat and someone more kind depression, the Yamian. Radio pharmacist may think say will be yana sometime a biane will be and so to me a contribute to a lot of that.
Some account.
I now do one fear no operation be I know because when I say me call theater me 1 or 2 me who say doctor no could be me say where you from because I say we you from a boa woman and
Depending on the operation, you know, they expect you say almost say no, on average, you know, between 10 to 20 times a day. Also in from and this own in from there, that means there is something wrong. And I can say whether you like it or not, a part of natural phenomenon say oh yeah they will be in from but we don't want to speak about. And I will be on what dress if I'm fine. I hear ribbon, I hear the men shine. But no matter who you are, where they are, we in from. It's as simple as that. The less understand is a part of it. It is a we and from there, not just a operation on me, I am successful.
Yeah.
Just say everything is normal. Until the move was outside.
And to so be you from us, so would you be catching any panzo? Now then, are you from us? Be air how young man asked to be some so bisasana and your bonnet.
I know there it's up to DJ D to make advice on that. I'm not going to comment on that. DJ D is going to advise you. Only boss lady will be able to advise you on that.
Before South Carolina, so now catching so and we yana. And who said we have no who's will be all crowd and what you call.
Yeah, no gas in the stomach, yeah.
I know Chilasa Commodore me boy, wind now me boy.
Oh, no so can be a sign of Commodore. And my gas be now here. Yeah. It will higher acid ni produce too much until end up more gas being in your belly.
Nah, mental issue ya okay. Me feel so be you depressed. Or be a bit depressed with me. But sometimes, you know, I think that we're taking it too much. And after when you're talking therapy for that, it's me, wow, Emma, you overcome of it. Since I would bet in a while, say, what in a while I be show maybe an hour west and I'm
when we talk about depression now, say we live in a world of we can say depressed society. That means you know you want to open say the open and then you oh but me kai say lawyer Dakuka can be some time back or say if you are timu at that time you know when we were coming up or say o totally crampo na bibi esere wo so a ontimi nsere because so ko sere one hwa next door neighbor no ebete so sere no oben na dwen be say obodamba
but I
that's what I say. We've lived in a society whereby we tend to be concerned and worried about what other people will also think about us. So we need to tread very, very careful as to the things that we do. But with depression, the idea obiaka say, "Oh, I'm depressed. My depressed." But idea back when say depression is an illness. Say when someone is clinically depressed, the person is depressed. I'm speaking to somebody. Or saying but I'm so angry, say Mr. And I can tell you, the guy, the oyenyanano, is a sign of depression. The oyenyanamo who say why completely depressed because on any year in Tokwabia it's been going on utunefua. The overcananya no obey. Until now, no, I'm sick and tired and fed up, and I can really tell say the person is depressed. No, I can see say because you are not listening to what I wanted to come and do today. Until because of that, you know, because the number person me was saying no. Do you understand me? The guy has been so depressed. Say, at times, you know, you can be in a relationship and be fighting, you know, but do stage beer, you need to understand. Say, you need to take a break because look, I've given myself as an example in the past. Me, I have also been depressed in the past. I accept it. But you don't see, say, you are depressed. I'm telling you. Because there are certain things happen to you now. You get so angry. Say, why should, you know, I be in that situation? Absolutely.
ebufuo nso doctor baako na ka chere ebufuo nso ma obra pressure kosoro.
Absolutely.
There's more. So advice to me.
And yes, I totally agree.
Aside.
I totally understand the doctor 100%.
And the kaka can't show so what down for no friend no share baby na no kwatra madonna's baby na mundi nkomo.
I believe sir I could also do that. But what really annoys me is what I have told you and we've both agreed for us to do it no. Why yet? Until now no the me person me no what say no. Until it's a waste of time for me to do whatever I need to do. The me person me no say no. Until who here? Until I've just come to realize this and say because me no I know the symptoms and I know when someone is depressed and they are talking you know from your experience and also from your clinical way.
Radio pharmacists, baby doctors, lawyers, and pharmacists. One professional job. Do you need a talking therapy to talking for your job?
If you are not for your job, but if you are depressed,
you do
the talking therapy no ebua because on say depression no Ghana say Ghana the depression be any ho. The simple matter is talking therapy works in Ghana a lot because uko we fie kura na ne kokasa ohobeto. Do you understand me? Uko we fie na ne kokasa ohobeto. And talking therapy ni die ebua pa e Ghana. Having said this, when we talk about talking therapy, there are certain people they don't understand what is meant by the talking therapy, or they don't see the benefit of the talking therapy. Even say me example say Lawyer Darko at a time no quante as a single person or say hey me unim loneliness kunipa ewa brochire because me demo akrampo no I cannot talk because me kwana me shaha say tell it bibi sere was na me sene let's don't leave Babeka say me bo number and truly speaking that is how it will or somebody will classify it as enti they met me akane say Sabio, we need to be very careful as we go along. Say depression don't get me wrong, depression is an illness. Is there the more OTS say you are depressed, something can be done. Say there maybe catch no. May I have been depressed in the past. I have been depressed in the past simply because of abia lies bia enipa aka afame ho. And I became so angry. I became so angry. And one thing is so sa lies no I kato so no and no so na ebema odu akoboni mu. Until you just have to ignore those people because the truth will suddenly come out. And therefore there is no need to be angry about lies. Me and Crawford omodi me wontro de bebre. I'm telling you, but I'm still there. I'm still who I am. You can say whatever you want to say, but you can be depressed for a certain period. But Mate, mami. Yes, that was it. Hello, where did you know? Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning to you. Yes, Adum. Pacho when Nana
I talk to him.
Oh, Nana Kasa. One usham. Nana Kasa. Oh, Nana. Amen.
I from the year I will come watching. Yeah.
Ada Nana.
Yeah, you're bully. What you say? Your back can't hear. Obey you from us. Anna, you're true. For my general manager. Although ɔno nse general manager for so nim say on there enye bɔne ɛna yɛsi yɛ kurom deɛ nyame ani sɛ obi didi na otie ni mu yiyi saa mframa saa la ɛsɛ yɛ di ma yɛ tumi didi ɛna ɔso ɔlɛ obi sɛ ɛyɛ normal ɛna nso sɛ ha na ɛyɛ normal ɛyɛ owu sɛ ɛnyɛ normal etie yàmá ni time wọn ló di kọ́lì break. So uncle tell no kò yí ní frama. That is yẹ lè di bi a. Jẹ́sọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ní frama ni ẹ̀ non-stop o. Ọtí ẹ̀dí ẹni ní frama ló di frama.
Sir.
Bro ní ti tapa.
Ẹni ẹ̀ o, what I will possibly say is Nana, I will possibly in a very nice civilized way opa obit me a friend no waka chance uncle for check up because obu ha oyim from us excessively no it could be another reason
yeah supposed to know ama yeah network way manager pa because lim from a year no and yes just or two one would you to me whether po sa yes malam yes the way Ghana memo and also also on and a network manager and the channel said yeah only kind bear 30 minutes no bra I said any padoli na but only padoli na the complaint ya ni abofuli bi yes maybe a 22 for kwana a complaint ya ni abofula yin na ba a breaking and the complaint are there and yet na me nim say onu no ohunu say yare na bibisa enu mi mu back from a year they can you bonnet silence you need the pumsa
and your bonnet
because the crown went when in from managers or yale so
a normal yeah
jack a figure so and a year nipa and from a year ma thank you ma it's a leaky the year leaky I like so do so a blow a blow on pumsa bro live be alliance yale o
and
the not also the no lady pan yale memala aba o
mate
mate
I mean we'll do the very best that we can. It's a challenge and I will do the best that I can. Like me for instance here, when a challenge is thrown onto me, I don't want to run away from the challenge. May you also me but like I said, you know, on average it's between 10 and 20 a day. And so if you are not falling within that there, then it's a question. Why?
Nana Tontin Heath, Anna Mote Ninkano. Nana Yeda Wasipi. And me say your time no Aswan no T Yedi no everybody we na say ya bibia on time na yetimi move forward and yet for moment in mafidie to in edamasi so mentimi amfa anto nyina menim said they will go back and listen to the program and he said oh share Facebook and I see YouTuber also betimi a share program no na afi no obi biara wentimi entie live program ni bia no wetimi abo etie na achiri said yeah I see nyansa eni ba kufo tirim and yen share ideas no na obi asoso enyane dia ewum Mr. Pharmacy, for your last words, Brad. I feel
therefore, P, but keep on tuning in because and the dear Badon Liga, and me say and dear special legal matters. Just tune in and listen to Lawyer Darkon. It's coming up live and exclusive, and to be ready for us. Be ready for war, be ready for action. Yadamasi say Mudemofidia to her. Like I'm saying it again. Next week, me buy call Birmingham. Into no mean to member and be a live program. Into eja me yumo asutri prekon. And to keep on burning the fire in your spirit. Yadamasi.
Yadamasipi, you say amount for Brad joining ye, moment joining na Omase Doris Opoku. Thank you very much for joining us. The man with his own ideas, Mr. Emmanuel Adademafo. Thank you very much. Madam Lucy Adoma Bold from Reading. Also so Yadamasipi. Vida Chumesi, also the contribution about was a boss lady. down for no. Let me say, very loose bowels, and therefore you need to see a doctor. And also so at the end, no. Yao Godwin, Akpay. And also say it's normal thing, oh, madam, it's normal. Obiani ne dear, Sasana, Doris say, Mr. Pharmacy Michiachao. Madam Paulina Coffee, or also say ha 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 ha. Sasuna Anthony Jumon, so Edia Toha, Etia de Bremo, and Anope. Sasuna Yankee Kanko, Sasuna Quabran Inketia, Ralph Saul, also so Ode Etua, Etia de Bremo, Boss Lady Rosemary Edia, and our patients all say, Mingina Yadamasipi, SNF. My joining program no na aye kama yade na se any we and mamo no selim sin kan twi ntima ma chia na kakra na se any nkabia na se any nkabia ade de mamo sana etie enti de masipi ye twa ye ho aba ye kɔ akotwa ye ho aba ye kɔ tonton ne ma na ye ton ne ma ni wia na afi no ye de legal matters ne so abremo ewo asumdwie mu na ene we de Pentecost ni ma me bi ane de beto lawyer nim ese Irish backstop he backstop you cry e de ba de a e cause a lot of problems at Brexit cry ye hu de ye hu na me kire ne se e me se e wi ase no before se obeti bibi ase no mentie asem ba ko ne mfa njeje obi go back to the history mfiti ase e ye de ne ba ne sa enti ene e ba be hwe the Irish history how Northern Ireland became a different country from Republic of Ireland. The problems are not a wohonomo. And they said they're not Irish, and I said Ireland ACTA before 1801. And the story no and abako sempa never became a video so one because me jidi says among 40 abako semna si year. Say ye ko ye nima ye be hu baby a ye ko enu nti na ye se den sign kofa say wan kwan kohwe wachi na wa hu baby a wo history efiri ya o kwa enu ane say wo ko nim baby a wo ko na emuma history obi kan ye o say a study of past events and to shape the future because history is not only looking at the back but it's always looking ahead what is ahead of you and you never be share this Irish history Irish backstop and the difficulties why and the Brexit you faces so many problems. Yabesha after the after the voting in Parliament last week, and I said this week Monday, no, the course of Parliament, the shenanigans and its implications to our new Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Is he going to die in a ditch? Or is he going to break the law? We don't know what he's going to do. On our swear, by 31st of October, you know, make or break. What does CBC ANC? Ye free Europe nimu. Nas ye free with that dealer. Busa honsa wo. What will be the implications? We ye see ni uti kromwa. We a family member of an EEC national uti kromwa. What will be the implications? We will look at all this. Ye immigration law update. The U-turn about post-study work visa, the revival of post-study work visa. Esa baby mana eba tambena eba. Sisi krade si Vindaloo visa. Sisi krade visa eba be introduce. Among for to the Vindaloo. And I say your friend is say chicken tikka masala visa. And eba be introduce. Na sasa we be American. Ayana enkrofon tiasie. If we are say naturally man is born bad. Naturally man is born biased. Naturally people will do things to seek their own happiness and their own interest. Because as soon as I heard about the Vindaloo visa, I'm just thinking, why is it not jollof rice visa? And the YBC animal na yeba yebeto aso you say na share employment law update na afi no yede akoyede enti kache wunu bi no so kanche ni bi na onfa Fair Life Radio eni konkonsa na enkrofo ntimi ntie na emaje nkoye nim enti yeko yekotwa ye ho aba sisia enti don't touch the dial say oh share a free radio ne so oh share free video YouTube and I say Facebook yebeko off be 2 minutes bi na yebesa back yeba so a yeba ne vim enti yebeshepi bear with us, stay there, don't go anywhere. because the lips of the righteous preaches many.